paper 14, but if I can just move, it's pretty formulaic. Paper 13, move the recommendation there. Are there any comments on that? Councillor Simpson?
Can I just say, we don't know what the final vote is. So, and I think we're pretty sure with those two candidates, we don't have any choice here, we have to pay for it. But I just wondered if the resolution should be amended to say subject to final vote count. I mean, they're both well ahead, but we haven't had the final vote.
We'll maybe take that amendment on the next paper, which is the budget. This is simply noting the potential for by-elections and noting a separate report is, so it's formulaic really. I'm happy to move that way. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Efeso Collins. All those in favour, please.
I've got a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have we
Councillor Casey.
There isn't a requirement to resign on election to Parliament.
I think we've had indication from both
that they will.
That they will.
That's
yes,
fine.
You're quite right. Though there is no requirement for them to do so, but the indication from both individuals are that they will. Okay, I'll just put that that resolution. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. Carried. And if you look at paper number 14, that approves an additional operating budget of $228,000 for this financial year to conduct 2 by-elections, and notes that the unbudgeted expenditure will be included in the next budget update. Can I have a seconder for that? Councillor Simpson. Are there any questions on that? Councillor Casey, first.
I was amazed at the size of the comms budget that was attached to the by-election. What's the biggest component of that?
Yes, through your worship. It's a combination of advertising, ad shells and social media. So there's a minimum amount that each of the by-elections would need. Those advertising costs would be individual within each of those areas. They can't be shared across because these are related to 2 different communities.
Okay, thank you.
Within that budget, Casey? Which is the biggest item? Which is the biggest ticket item?
The biggest item is the print ads.
The what?
Print advertising.
Print media.
Oh, media. Like the Herald?
Yeah. Well, it'll be the local papers.
Yeah. Councillor Lee.
One of those vacancies could also be filled after a by-election by a person who is presently a member of the local board, and would that I think would actually necessitate another by-election, wouldn't it? So we'd possibly 3 by-elections.
That's correct.
Unfortunately, we can't do them all at once because we won't know who's elected unless you've got inside information I don't have. Councillor Simpson.
So, Mr Mayor, would it be appropriate to say subject to resignation and final vote count? Approve.
Yeah, I'm happy to have those words added. Kalinda, if you can add those in.
And just on the amount that has been, I just want clarification question on the amount. So the amount is that non-negotiable? Is there any way that amount could be less?
So as far as the management of the elections go, no. The greatest cost that we have here is in postage. So people have to have their voting papers posted out to them, and then when they post them back in, there are costs then as well. So that is the greatest cost. Then there's the management of the by-elections themselves, and then there's the communications budget. This
is really important. Sorry, Mr Mayor. So you're telling me that this budget can be no less?
That's right.
Right.
It's based on an anticipated voter turnout of 30%. If the voter turnout is less than that, then obviously we're paying for fewer voting papers coming back.
Okay. Our loss is New Zealand Post's gain. Any further questions? If not, no further comment, I'll put that resolution, the resolution A as amended. I'm happy to accept that. That was seconded. That was seconded by you, Councillor, so you will obviously accept it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. Carried. Can I just say, I'm about to adjourn the meeting until 2 p.m. We do have 4 councillors away, so if as many, I really, if you cannot make it back at 2 o'clock, can you please let me know, because we just run a slight risk that we could fall below the quorum. I think we'll be above it, but obviously it's not desirable not to have a quorum. So I have apologies for early departure at 3 from Councillor Quacks and 3:30 from Councillor Simpson. But if there's anybody
Oh,
else that can't
no,
make...
I'm not going.
Sorry, Fletcher, sorry. My mistake. Did I say... Yep.
I want to go at 5, is that all right?
My brain's getting ahead of... yeah, we will be gone by 5. We have important items on the agenda, including the Maori Ward and the governance framework review. Okay, I'll adjourn the meeting, and as many of you that wanted to come out to Manukau, you'll be very, very welcome. And if I could thank Councillor Alf Filipina for putting so much work into that. Thank you, Alf.
Okay.